So, let me describe to you how my Christmas goes. Just to remind you, I am half German and Italian, which means I do not celebrate Christmas the way people celebrate Christmas here in Britain. In fact, my Christmas is totally different. But I hope you enjoy this and learn a little bit of my culture. I mean, there's not much of a culture because we celebrate similar things. It's just on different days, and we have different activities we do. So first things first, we give our presents Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day. We're not like here where they open up in the morning on Christmas Day morning. What we do is we go to church for an hour. It's about from 4 to 5, and we listen to the choir, we listen to the kids doing nativity play and the orchestra, and then we go back and we put our presents underneath the tree. Beforehand, during lunchtime, we always reserve a table at a fancy restaurant. The reason for it is because we are basically celebrating, a special time with our family, and it's a tradition that we eat at a fancy restaurant and then we go to church in the late evening and then we open up presents. Restaurants are closed in the evening, which means that few days before, we buy a lot of food, and we kind of have a buffet of salami, cheese, salmon, jack and potatoes, bread, all these different things that we just kind of nibble on because, I don't know, it's always been like that. And of course there's mayonnaise, there's mustard, all these sauces, but I like it because we can eat a small amount, but the most important thing is just kind of being around family and friends. So again, the next day, which is Christmas Day, we go out for lunch to another fancy restaurant, and then again in the evening we basically have our own buffet, and it's leftover food that we've had the night before. We tend to buy like a lot so that we have plenty for those 2 nights, because restaurants are closed, everyone's celebrating with their family, which is understandable. Also, one thing we do is we open presents twice. The reason for it is because we go first to Germany, where we technically open our presents on the right night, which is Christmas Eve, but then we have to go to Italy, so we open our presents when we arrive. And yeah, I mean, it is an interesting turn of event, but I mean, getting 2 presents from people, I love it. Just to remind you that this year I am not going to receive a lot of presents. I've established that as a Christmas gift, all I wanted my family to do was to donate to UNICEF. I chose UNICEF specifically because at the moment, during Christmas, they always advertise to donate, takes £3 via mobile, and that £3 could give a child a blanket. There's a lot of refugees and migrants, people coming from dangerous countries and are living in these sort of camp areas where it can be cold during Christmas, and I believe that they deserve some warmth, some comfort, some food, and we shouldn't take for granted what we have. I definitely recommend any one of you, just for one Christmas, to just ask everyone in your family to donate money to UNICEF or any other charity where they do need help. just once. So during our time in Italy, we open up our presents when we arrive, and then throughout the week we don't do much. One thing we do specifically is we go to Milan and we eat. We have a nice coffee and tea at La Rinascente, which is a very fancy cafe where all the shops are. It's a department store with a cafe at the top, and we eat outside. There's like the warm, I don't know what they're called, heatering things, and nice calming music. And last but not least, it is New Year's Eve. So what we do on New Year's Eve is we've done this tradition where we buy, well, our parents buy tickets to go to the opera in Milan. So we dress up fancy and we go. Last year we went to see just some of Verdi's pieces, and I'm not sure what's happening this year, but we are going to go. And then we go to one of the most famous restaurants. One we went last year was Campari, where they make the drinks Campari, like super expensive, but it's like a thing that we do. And we go with a grandmother, and then she goes home. Being out and about at night time is very tiring for her, so she'll go back and nibble, and then we go to the restaurant. One of the traditions in Italy that I've kind of figured out is we usually have lentils, and I think it's like pig's feet or something, where like you have the fat as well. It's really good. We call it cotechino, and cotechino con lenticchie, and it's meant to give you good luck for the next year, which is great. It's good and it's delicious. We sometimes have it with spinach or potatoes, and that's pretty much how Christmas goes in our family. It is very hectic, you know, having to get the Christmas tree, decorate the lights, etc. But it is worth the stress, because at the end of the day we are celebrating with our family.